Welcome back to our channel. Today is a beautiful, thrilling day to dive into the most explosive, jaw-dropping drama Los Angeles has ever witnessed. We have an exclusive, heart-stopping breakdown of the cataclysmic fallout awaiting the Forrester family. Buckle up, because the shockwaves from the catastrophic Monaco disaster are about to shatter everything we thought we knew. The heavy, mahogany doors of the Forrester Creations CEO office fly open with the force of a hurricane, and the pristine, corporate sanctuary is instantly transformed into a terrifying execution chamber. John Finnegan, breathless, frantic, and entirely broken by his desperate flight across the Atlantic, hits the floor. He is on his knees. This is not a negotiation. This is not a conversation. This is the ultimate, humiliating act of a desperate man begging for his life, pleading for the survival of his shattered marriage. The air in the room is suffocating, thick with the scent of premium scotch and the unmistakable, suffocating stench of absolute betrayal. Finn looks up, his eyes wild with panic, begging Steffy Forrester Finnegan to listen, to forgive, to somehow erase the horrific reality of what happened on the sun-drenched beaches of Monte Carlo. But the room does not belong to Finn anymore. The temperature plummets to absolute zero as Ridge Forrester steps into the fray. The Forrester patriarch does not just enter the room, he eclipses it. Ridge is a man pushed entirely to the absolute brink, a father who has watched his daughter endure unimaginable trauma, only to be betrayed by the one man sworn to protect her. Ridge's fury is not just anger, it is a feral, unyielding force of nature. He looks down at the pathetic sight of his son-in-law kneeling on the expensive carpet, and the disgust radiating from Ridge is palpable, toxic, and entirely lethal. Ridge crosses the room with the calculated, predatory stride of an executioner. He does not come empty-handed. In his grip is a thick, terrifying stack of legal documents. With a violent, explosive motion, Ridge hurls the pre-prepared divorce papers across the CEO desk. They hit the polished wood with a deafening, cataclysmic crack that echoes like a gunshot through the silent, suffocating tension of the office. The papers slide across the surface, coming to a dead stop right in front of Finn's panicked face. The message is clear, brutal, and entirely irreversible. The Forrester machine has been activated, and its sole target is the complete and total annihilation of John Finnegan. Ridge's voice drops to a lethal, venomous whisper that vibrates with pure hatred. He towers over Finn, delivering a verbal evisceration that leaves absolutely no room for defense. Ridge declares, with terrifying absolute certainty, that Finn has lost every single ounce of his right to protect Steffy. He spits the words out like venom, stating that a man who allows a psychopath like Sheila to lurk in the shadows, to breathe the same air as his family, is no protector at all. Ridge systematically tears apart Finn's pathetic excuses, refusing to hear a single word about good intentions or being caught off guard. The patriarch leans in, his eyes burning with a terrifying, protective fire. He asserts, with brutal clarity, that Finn's silence in Monaco was not just a mistake. It was a calculated, deliberate stab in Steffy's back. Ridge reminds the kneeling doctor that keeping the secret of Sheila's presence, packing that toxic lie alongside the sunscreen and the romance, was the ultimate act of treason. Every second Finn smiled at Steffy in that seaside chapel while knowing the woman who shot them was watching from the bushes was a knife twisted deeper into Steffy's spine. Ridge makes it horrifyingly clear that the Forrester family does not forgive treason, and they certainly do not harbor traitors. But Ridge is not finished. The divorce papers sitting on the desk are just the opening salvo in this brutal war. Ridge unleashes the ultimate, terrifying ultimatum. He forces Finn to look at the documents, demanding that he pick up a pen and sign them immediately. If Finn refuses, if he dares to fight this, Ridge promises a legal bloodbath the likes of which Los Angeles has never seen. Ridge vows to unleash the entire, unlimited financial and legal arsenal of the Forrester empire to strip Finn of everything. He promises a brutal, scorched-earth custody battle that will permanently sever Finn's rights to Hayes and Kelly. Ridge guarantees that if Finn makes this difficult, he will ensure the doctor never sees his children again. The threat hangs in the air, heavy, suffocating, and entirely real. Finn's world completely collapses. The sheer terror of Ridge's custody threat paralyzes him. He looks frantically around the room, desperately seeking a lifeline, a shred of mercy, a single sympathetic glance. He turns his pleading, tear-filled eyes to his wife. But the woman sitting behind the desk is not the Steffy he left in Monaco. Steffy Forrester Finnegan is emotionally paralyzed, drowning in a toxic, numbing cocktail of alcohol and insurmountable grief. She is drunk, in agonizing pain, and completely detached from the pathetic display unfolding on her office floor. Steffy does not look at Finn. She refuses to grant him even a fraction of a second of eye contact. Her silence is a weapon, far more devastating than any scream or thrown wedding ring. Slowly, deliberately, Steffy shifts her bloodshot, tear-stained gaze. She looks past the groveling man on the floor. She looks past her furious father. Steffy locks eyes with the only other person in the room. She looks directly at Carter Walton. Carter stands in the shadows of the office, nursing his own devastating heartbreak, a silent, imposing monolith of loyalty and strength. The eye contact between the intoxicated, shattered Forrester CEO and the formidable Forrester COO is electric, dark, and entirely lethal. It is a silent transfer of power, an unspoken, terrifying pact. In that single, haunting look, Finn sees the absolute truth. Carter is not just a lawyer, he is the fixer, the protector, the man who will execute Ridge's brutal orders without hesitation. The dark, killer vibe radiating between Steffy and Carter makes Finn's blood run cold. They are entirely aligned, a united front of absolute destruction aimed directly at the Sheila problem, and by extension, at him. The realization hits Finn with the force of a freight train. He has truly, permanently lost his place in the Forrester family. The impenetrable wall of Forrester wealth, power, and loyalty has closed ranks, and he is officially locked on the outside. He is no longer the beloved husband, the miracle survivor, the trusted doctor. He is a liability. He is the weak link that allowed the monster back to the gates. He is the enemy. The crushing weight of his monumental failure presses down on him, suffocating his desperate pleas before they can even leave his throat. Ridge watches the realization dawn on Finn's face. He sees the exact moment the doctor's spirit breaks. Ridge does not offer an ounce of pity. He steps back, crossing his arms over his chest, his posture radiating absolute, unchallenged authority. The patriarch delivers his final, chilling decree. The words slice through the heavy silence of the room, cold, calculated, and terrifyingly final. Ridge looks dead into Finn's eyes and coldly declares, "Sign it and get out, or I will destroy you." The explosive tension in the CEO office reaches a fever pitch, setting the stage for a rapid, catastrophic breakdown of everything that happens next. The immediate fallout from this terrifying confrontation will reshape the entire landscape of the Forrester, Logan, and Spencer dynasties. Finn is trapped in an impossible, agonizing nightmare. If he signs the papers, he surrenders his marriage, his family, and his entire life to the ruthless demands of a furious father. He walks away with nothing but the clothes on his back and the crushing guilt of his monumental failure. But if he refuses, if he dares to stand up, he triggers a thermonuclear legal war. Ridge is not making empty threats. The Forrester legal team, spearheaded by a dangerously unmoored Carter Walton, will descend upon Finn like a pack of starving wolves. They will drag every single one of Sheila's crimes back into the spotlight. They will paint Finn as an unstable, compromised enabler who poses a direct, lethal threat to the safety of the Forrester heirs. They will weaponize Finn's biological connection to a convicted psychopath, using it to systematically strip away his parental rights. The courtroom bloodbath will be public, humiliating, and entirely devastating. Finn knows he cannot outspan Ridge Forrester. He knows he cannot outmaneuver Carter Walton. He is entirely outmatched, outgunned, and out of time. But the danger does not stop at the courtroom doors. The dark, lethal vibe shared between Steffy and Carter suggests a far more sinister, terrifying plot is brewing in the shadows. Steffy is feral, intoxicated, and driven by a primal, desperate need to protect her children. She cried to Carter that all she wants is to be free of the woman trying to destroy her family. Carter, reeling from the devastating loss of his own dreams of a family with Daphne, is operating in a dangerous, reckless headspace. He is a man with nothing left to lose, standing beside a woman who will do absolutely anything to survive. Are Steffy and Carter plotting to eliminate Sheila permanently? The subtext in that silent, loaded stare screams of a dark, irreversible conspiracy. If the legal system cannot protect the Forresters, if restraining orders and security guards are useless against Sheila's relentless obsession, Steffy and Carter may take matters into their own, lethal hands. Carter has the resources, the connections, and the cold, calculating intelligence to orchestrate a permanent solution to the Sheila problem. And Steffy, pushed completely past her breaking point by Finn's betrayal, may finally be ready to cross the ultimate line. And what happens when Sheila discovers that her precious son is being systematically destroyed by the Forrester family? The reformed villain act will instantly evaporate. The monster will be unleashed. Sheila will not sit idly by while Ridge Forrester strips Finn of his marriage and his children. She will view Ridge's brutal ultimatum as a direct declaration of war. Sheila's retaliation will be swift, unpredictable, and entirely catastrophic. She knows the secrets, she knows the vulnerabilities, and she has absolutely no moral boundaries. If Ridge pushes forward with his threat to destroy Finn, he inadvertently paints a massive, bloody target on his own back. The shockwaves of this CEO office showdown will violently ripple across the entire canvas. At Logan Designs, Katie Logan Spencer's aggressive, ruthless investigation into Melissa Dillon's massive red flags will be entirely overshadowed by the explosive news of the Forrester divorce. Bill Spencer will undoubtedly view the Forrester vulnerability as a prime opportunity to strike, weaponizing the chaos to elevate the Logan brand. The brutal, violent feud between Will Spencer and R.J. Forrester will escalate, fueled by the toxic, paranoid atmosphere infecting both families. Electra Forrester, already haunted by her lingering feelings for Will and her vicious standoff with Dillon, will be pulled into the Forrester defensive perimeter. Every single character is now operating on a razor's edge. The stakes have never been higher, the betrayals have never been deeper, and the consequences have never been more lethal. Ridge's pre-prepared divorce papers are not just legal documents, they are a lit match thrown into a room soaked in gasoline. Finn is staring down the barrel of his own absolute destruction, paralyzed by the cold, dead eyes of the woman he loves and the terrifying, imposing presence of the men sworn to protect her. The clock is ticking, the pressure is mounting, and the explosion is absolutely inevitable. Will Finn pick up the pen and sign his life away, submitting to the brutal, unforgiving wrath of Ridge Forrester? Or will he refuse, sparking a catastrophic, scorched earth war that will tear the Forrester family apart, unleash the full, psychotic fury of Sheila, and force Steffy and Carter to execute a dark, lethal pact? The lines have been permanently drawn, the ultimatums have been delivered, and there is absolutely no turning back. The battle for the soul of the Forrester family has officially begun, and the casualties will be devastating. What will Finn choose, and how far will Steffy and Carter go to eliminate the threat? Drop your boldest theories below and subscribe so you never miss a second of the explosive fallout.